Good evening, guests and fellow Toastmaster. A warm welcome to meeting number 27 of the Gabbys International Toastmaster Club. I am Toastmaster Bimpy Kumari, your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. As Sergeant at Arms, it's my duty to highlight some key points for the meeting. First, the meeting is blocked for 2 hours and also urging you to stay for the entire duration to get the maximum benefits of it. Second, your video should be on and audio should be off, and unmute yourself when you are called to speak or need to speak. Third, regarding the topics of sex, religion, and politics, even though Toastmaster International doesn't put any restriction on speaking on these topics, at the Gabbys Toastmaster Club, we request all the speakers and role takers to be mindful and responsible and abstain from expressing any controversial views on these sensitive topics. Also urge you to be cognizant of the fact that we as a club practice diversity and inclusion in letter and spirit, hence ensuring there is no sexist, racist, or any such undertones that create hostility and discomfort for members or guests. Our club mission, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now let me call upon today's Toastmaster of the day. Today's Toastmaster of the day is an electrical engineer by profession working at Moragula Hydropower Project, CEB Sri Lanka. In his free time, he enjoys playing badminton and tending to his garden. He has a deep passion for engaging in welfare and charity activities. Everyone, give him a round of applause. By this, I am handing over the stage to Toastmaster Gihan. Toastmaster Gihan, stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Bimpy, for your warm welcome and kind introduction. That is our Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. Let's give a big round of applause for her. For the benefit of guests, I would like to explain the structure of today's meeting. In a regular Toastmaster meeting, we have 3 sections. First one is prepared speech section, second one is table topic section, and third one is evaluation section. For today, this speech marathon, we will have prepared speech and evaluation sections. Before moving to the prepared speech section, I will introduce the timer for today's meeting. He is a network engineer by profession, Toastmaster by passion. He loves to travel new places and connect to new people. Just do it is his favorite quote. He is none other than Toastmaster Raja Balaji. Toastmaster Raja, screen is yours to introduce your role for today's meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. The purpose of the timer is to note the speakers, and I will show cards respectively. For prepared speech, given time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I will show green card. At 6 minutes, I will show yellow card. At 7th minute, I will show red card. And at the end of the meeting, I will present my report. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raja. Is it possible to show the screen with color cards? How to change
Sure.
it?
Sure. So at 5 minutes, I will show green. At 6 minutes, I will show yellow. And at 7th minute, I will show red card.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Raja. Let's give a big round of applause for him. Now, let's move on to the prepared speech section. Today, our first speaker is Toastmaster Tanusheka Agnihotri. This speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Bimpy Kumari. Toastmaster Bimpy, please confirm your presence.
Yes, I am in meeting.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Tanukesha is a global merchandiser at a top fashion retail brand. Off duty, she is an adventure lover. often found hiking in the mountains or soaking up the sun on the beaches, and a fitness enthusiast who recently completed her first half marathon. She joined Toastmasters to overcome her fear of public speaking, gain confidence, and get comfortable striking up conversations with new faces. She is attempting level 1 project 2 of presentation mastery path, and the project title is Evaluation and Feedback First Speech. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods of writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, please note that the time allocation for this project is 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Tanusheka. Beyond Hustle Culture. Beyond Hustle Culture, Toastmaster Tanusheka.
I'm not seeing her in meeting.
Oh,
She has some network issue. We can move to the next speaker.
okay. Then let's move on to the second speech. Today our second speaker is Toastmaster Shilpa Reddy. Toastmaster Shilpa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you very much. This speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Gauri Aggarwal. Toastmaster Gauri, please confirm your presence here.
Yes, I'm present.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Shilpa Reddy is an image consultant, corporate coach, and ex-corporate and an entrepreneur by heart, a risk-taker career-wise, a night owl and compassionate capitalized at work, a travel buff and a music lover who enjoys riding bikes as well as cooking. She is attempting level 1 project 2 of effective coaching path, and the project title is Writing a Speech with Purpose. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, please note that the time limitation for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Shilpa Reddy. Stick and poke. Stick and poke. Toastmaster Shilpa Reddy. Over to you.
Thank you, TMOD. Good evening. I want you all to switch on the videos and answer me this question. So how many of you have actually given a thought of getting a tattoo done but stopped yourself? Stick and poke. Give me answers. A tattoo but stopped you. Okay, I see one yes. I see two yes, Bimpy. Okay, may I know what could be the reasons? Bimpy, why did you not get a tattoo done? Even
I have different answer. I wanted to have tattoo and I have that. So I was showing this.
Oh, okay, fine. So who else raised their hand?
Shilpa, I'm
Yes.
scared I'll start hating it because it's so permanent. I'm worried I'll hate it after I have it.
Okay, permanency is one reason, I understand. And is it Sagar who raised his hand? Okay, may I know the reason?
I believe that after a certain point of time, I'll change the opinion and outlook about the tattoo, and it will not add as much value as it is adding right now.
I think it's pretty much the same, the fear of permanency. Okay, thank you so much for those answers. So the thought of what could have actually stopped you from getting inked makes me think, obviously one of the reasons you already gave, but it is also because you might think that it is unprofessional to have a tattoo, or the fear of what people would think about you, right? Think about it. Today, let us deep dive a little more to see what it takes to get tattooed in a professional environment. Can you believe if I say that the oldest discovery of human skin was found on a body of a person way back from 3000 BC? I'll tell you one more interesting fact is that ancient Greeks used tattoos way back from 5th century. You know, for what? To communicate among spies. And also later, Romans used tattoos to make criminals and slaves, you know, to differentiate them from the normal people. Quite thoughtful, isn't it? But you know, the trend and purpose of tattooing has changed eventually over the period of time, over the centuries. Well, coming to the basic question, okay, why do people get tattoos? Why? Think. People get tattoos mainly because of 3 reasons. 1, it could be associated with their memory. 2, it could be their expression of their thoughts, or simply to decorate themselves, right? I have a tattoo myself. I'll show you my tattoo. Can you all see my tattoo? Yes, right. So I'll explain what my tattoo is, what this means to me. This is a rose. It depicts passion. There is a trishul, which is signifies strength, and the threads that are hanging here depicts freedom. Well, the reason I got my tattoo is to express my thought of how I see myself. The truth is that tattoos have become more widely accepted in the workplace, even in many professions where once it was considered as a taboo. So please answer me, each of you either here are a student, employee, or an employer, right? Yes, and if it is so, what am I going to share now should make sense to you. Because I'm going to tell you a few reasons why tattoos are not considered unprofessional in the 21st century. Number 1, people with tattoos, see, this is from a Harvard study, business study done by Harvard. And they concluded that getting tattooed won't hurt your job prospects because of the following reasons. 1 is people with tattoos do not mean they are uneducated. So think about it. Tattoo does not show their work ethic or do not make them underperform, right? Have you ever seen a person just because he has tattoos on his body, he or she underperforming in any job? No. Or also, it does not mean that it disables them from, communicating from with their teammates or in the workplace. Number 2, tattoos are not a measure of someone's capability, dependability, or skill. Employees, I believe that employees should appreciate individuality and the courage it takes to get a tattoo done and wear it proudly for whatever reason they want to wear it. Number 3, no employer should use tattoos as a reason not to hire you. Because tattoos do not define professionalism, it is people who define professionalism. Well, I think I know what's going on in your mind right now. Research, you might be thinking that research can state facts, opinions, assumptions, which is agreeable. Okay, fine. But then why is our HR still hesitant about employees who has tattoos? Dear friends, being a recruitment manager myself for a very good term from my past corporate experience, I completely understand that. I have had a debatable opinion about tattoos and was very hesitant about hiring employees who had tattoos, who got inked at that point of time. But over a period of time, with the trends changing, I myself have observed that tattoo culture is being acceptable in a belief that it is just an expression of somebody or as an accessory, like how we do our hair, how we wear our bindi, how we dress in a certain way. It is just simply one's way of styling themselves, which has nothing to do with their performance, right? However, as a professional, it is also our responsibility to ensure that we have right tattoos in the right place to build a healthy and happy environment. Don't you think so? Our tattoos shouldn't be disrespectful to our colleagues or friends outside. You know, just how you must have heard about this, right? Just how too many cooks spoil the dish. Too much of anything can also result in adverse effect. Imagine a person having tattoos on the face and body and everywhere, walking in the professional environment. Doesn't make sense. So anything within a limit doesn't have adverse effect. Mindfulness is the key here. So what are you waiting for? Bimpy, go again, get a tattoo done, and more from Aparna too. So all those fence sitters who's sitting in this room who want to get inked and who's been waiting forever, let's get tattooed. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shilpi. I am also trying to take one tattoo. Thank you very much. Then I hope now we have our first speaker.
Yes, I'm here and
Yeah.
hope I'm audible.
Yes, sure. Our first speaker is Toastmasters Tanusheka. This speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Bimpy Kumari. Toastmaster Bimpy, you are there, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Tanusheka is a global merchandiser at a top fashion retail brand. Off duty, she is an adventure lover, often found hiking in the mountains or soaking up the sun on the beaches, and a fitness enthusiast who recently completed her first half marathon. She joined Toastmasters to overcome her fear of public speaking, gain confidence, and get comfortable striking up conversations with new faces. She is attempting level 1, project 2 of presentation mastery path, and the project title is Evaluation and Feedback First Speech. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Time, please note that the limitation of this project is 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmasters Tanusheka, Beyond Hustle Culture. Beyond Hustle Culture, Toastmaster Tanusheka.
They say stress is a trash of modern life. We all generate it, but if we don't dispose of it properly, it accumulates and consumes us. Today, I want to address a topic that I believe affects a lot of people in this meeting room: stress at work. Let me take a moment and ask a quick question. How many of you have ever experienced chronic stress at work at any point of your career? Please feel free to raise your hands. I would like to see how many of us can relate to this topic. I see Toastmaster Aparna, Toastmaster Nupur, Meeta, everyone is raising hand. Okay, there are a couple more. Oh, I think almost everyone would agree. And I'm certain that most of us have experienced it at some point of our careers. Every day in the elevator of my office building, I overhear employees from top MNCs discussing their packed schedules and stressful meetings ahead. It's astonishing how common this sight has become, yet equally disheartening that discussing work-life balance is still a taboo in India. The hustle culture is so deeply ingrained in our society that we take pride in being overworked. We celebrate our ability to push beyond limit. But at what cost? Research has consistently shown the consequences of stress at work. In India, a survey by Indian Council of Medical Research has revealed that over 52% of workforce are suffering from stress-related issues at their workplace. Despite these alarming results by different research studies, only a handful of companies in our country seem to bother about creating sustainable work environment for the employees. In the past, I myself have worked almost every weekend of my life, spending my weekend stressing about the next meeting where we would be grilled if the sales figures were not good enough. And for the longest time, I thought the stress, the trauma would never end. Until one day, I decided to move to a workplace that respects work-life balance. And I also learned to manage my stress better. Yes, managing stress is a skill. And each one of us can learn that skill to live a little less nerve-wracking, to live a life, to make our life little less nerve-wracking and more fulfilling. We will talk more about it shortly. But before that, I know a lot of you might argue that we must choose between work-life balance or a good income. But over the time, I have realized that a slightly smaller paycheck with a fulfilling and happy life is far better than hefty income with no time to actually live. And it's not only affecting our health, but the stress at work is also affecting our personal relationships. How many times we had to cancel our plans with our loved ones due to hectic work schedules? How many family events we had to miss out on because we were busy chasing deadlines? So what can we do about it? There are a few things that we can learn to manage our stress better. Number one would be to detach psychologically from the work. When you are off the clock, can I take a minute? I think I have messed
Yes,
up.
sure. Take your time. Yes. Timer, please hold the timing until
Yeah,
she prepares.
I'm sorry, I would just need 30 seconds. Okay, yeah, we can go again. So yeah, we were discussing about some of the skills that we can learn to manage our stress better. Number one would be to detach ourselves psychologically from work. Once you are off the clock, try to not think about the work. Rather, try to spend time with your family. This would help you to recharge, rejuvenate, and since you have the boundaries intact, the work stress will not spill into your personal life. Secondly, harness the power of micro breaks throughout your work day. Try to take short frequent breaks. This will help you to improve your focus and re-energize yourself. A lot of time we spend the entire day glued to our screens, thinking that we will spend every minute of the day we will utilize every minute of the day positively, but we end up being more fatigued and more exhausted. Number three would be to choose healthy options to deal with stress. A lot of time we resort to alcohol, smoking, or fast food to fight against the stress. But we can always choose exercising, doing yoga, or any physical activity to reduce stress and help ourselves to re-energize. Number three would be to develop end day habits. Once you are done with the work, try tidying up your workspace, or create a to-do list for the next day, so that you can switch off yourself from the work. It is very important when you are working from home. Lastly, it would be to plan your work well in advance. Well in advance, you would be surprised to know how much better you can manage your stress when your mornings are in when you have a morning routine. So try to inculcate nutritious breakfast, positive mindset, and a bit of planning in your everyday routine. Let's try to focus on mental health. Let's try to focus on mental health and develop a sustainable way to work in life. We must reject the notion that endless hustle is the sole path to success. Together, we can create a world where success is not measured by our achievements, but by quality of our lives. On that note, over to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tanusheka, for that wonderful speech. Today, our third speech is the third speaker is Toastmaster Samita K. This speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Arsheen. Toastmaster Arsheen, can you confirm your presence?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Samita K is a soft skills trainer with 30 plus years of experience in shaping young minds. From being a teacher to principal, she loves to read and travel. She is attempting level 1 project 4 of motivational strategies path, and the project title is Evaluation and Feedback First Project. The purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting, and for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Timer, please note that the time limitation of this project is 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Samita K. Pen in perfection. Pen in perfection. Toastmaster Samita K.
In this age of emails and WhatsApp, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, can anyone tell me how many of you have that perfect handwriting? You can unmute and speak. That perfect handwriting. How many of you feel that you write really well? No one? Arsheen, yes, you feel that you have very good handwriting?
Yeah, I do.
I did not have a good handwriting. I never had. Throughout my school life, the only question that bothered me was, when will you improve your writing? Why can't you write properly? I tried. It's not that I didn't try, but you know what? My pen was not good. The paper which I was using was not fine enough, and time was not there in class. The bell used to ring after 40 minutes, so I had to scribble. What irritated me to no extent was that my father was a doctor. He had the proverbial doctor's writing. No one ever scolded him for that. And I used to wonder, why? Why did he not get a scolding and why am I getting a scolding? School went by, college went, and life happened. In life, I saw you don't need to write. That occasional 1 or 2 applications, that was it. And in my mind, I was always getting angry on my teacher. Why did she scold me? Every time she told me, write, what is the use of writing? Any practical application? It's not there. This chatter was going on in my mind when suddenly I became a teacher. While correcting my notebooks, I realized I needed to have a better writing. I could not correct with that illegible writing. That is the time I wanted to change. Actually, I found my why to change. I started researching on how can I learn to change faster and in a better way. I read somewhere that if you want to learn something, it's better to teach someone. You will retain 90% of what you have learned. This appealed to me. I went on in a search to find a couple of students who needed to improve their writing. Then I went on a search to get a good teacher for myself. The teacher would teach and I would teach my students. Perfect, right? No, only Ed Sheeran can sing, you are perfect. Nothing in life is perfect. These children did not have the why. So I tried some visualization exercises, telling about their idol, how they visualize, if they also can do the same, their handwriting will change, this, that, and what. Resultant was they were not convinced. I was desperately trying to teach them. They were listening, but they were not following through. Frustration was rising. And at that moment, I realized what my teachers used to go through when I refused to change myself. Life has a way of giving it back to you. Now, I needed to change my strategy. I suddenly did what I was following. I asked them to teach their younger siblings. Everyone likes to be the proverbial big brother and sister. That worked like magic. And they started taking interest and showing the change. Was I changing? 100%. I wanted to become the best teacher. I am vain. I will agree to that because I wanted to be good in front of my students. I practiced after my job, after this coaching that I was taking. I barely had time. But whatever time I had, I went on practicing to make my writing perfect. I would love to hear someone tell me, your writing is perfect tonight. Then came the biggest achievement of my students. They were appreciated in class because others noticed that their writing had changed. They were extremely happy. And they came running to me to say that others are appreciating me. My siblings are appreciating me. Siblings appreciation, friends appreciation, and finally, teachers appreciation. I could see that they had changed for life. They will never go back to what they were before. They have their why with them. When I started writing handwritten notes to people on different occasions, I received glowing feedback. Students, they were changing, I was happy. But this feedback that I was getting was unexpected. That made me extremely happy. In this era where everyone uses the mail and WhatsApp, one handwritten note has a lot of value. It shows that I care. What I understood from this journey is that, one, we need to have a why. Why do I want to change? What is my reason for changing? When that why is there, then the reason to change becomes clearer in our mind. Second, you need to teach what you are learning. You do not need to become an expert in the field, but you can become the second step, you can teach the first step. You are in the third step, you can teach someone in the second step. And enjoy the process. If you enjoy, you will change. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samita, for that inspiring speech. Now let's move on to the next speech. Today our next speaker is Toastmaster Sauvik Kaur. Toastmaster Sauvik, are you there?
Yes.
Thank you. This speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Manoj Nair. Toastmaster Manoj, please confirm your presence here. Toastmaster Manoj, are you there?
I'm there. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Sauvika hails from the quaint town of Wardha in Maharashtra. As a millennium, his childhood was devoid of the internet, leaving him with ample time for two of his greatest passions, reading and playtime. His collection of over 300 plus books, shared by his mother and sister, is a testament to his love for literature. He is a graduate in engineering from Pune. After that, he did his MBA in Bengaluru, where he completed his first stint as a Toastmaster. His attempt in Level 1 Project 4 of Dynamic Leadership with Leadership Path, and the project title is Evaluation and Feedback First Speech. The purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting, and for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Timer, please note that the time limitation of this project is 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Sauvika, Durga Puja. Durga Puja, Toastmaster Sauvika.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, for the introduction. I welcome all the esteemed Toastmasters, ladies, gentlemen, guests, and my evaluator. How many of you know about the festival of Durga Puja? Just a show of hands. Yeah, I can see my evaluator knows about the festival. Oh, we have got a couple of more people too. Does anyone know when this festival is going to fall this year? You can unmute and answer, or you can drop a message in the chat box.
October.
October.
Yeah, October. Any idea which week it is?
Second week.
See, somebody is already planning for the festival and taking the holidays, and I'm sure Nancy, you're doing that. My earliest memory of Mahalaya, that is the first day of the 10-day festival, takes me back to my childhood when I was a 9 years old guy, waking up to the hum of Onida TV in the pre-dawn hours. My parents, silhouetted against a screen, were absorbed in the chants echoing through the room. Despite the early hours, their eyes were fixed on the television. I soon cuddled up to my mother and tried to stay awake longer than them to seize the chance to watch some cartoons. But I was the first one to fall asleep as the chants grew softer and softer, and Durgama triumphed over Mahisasur. Mahalaya meant holidays. It meant pandal visits, skates, games with friends, new clothes, and most of all, loads and loads of sweets. It meant a break from homework, and our evenings were spent out late. Staying up past 11 p.m. was a big deal for me, as I was the youngest in the family. As the years went by, I outgrew my childish innocence. The significance of the festival and the way we celebrated also changed. During my engineering in Pune, Mahalaya meant sleepless nights due to exams or assignments. Sometimes the thought of missing Durga Puja brought tears to my eyes. It was hard to keep the festive spirit alive without the pandals or without any other Bengalis out there. I miss the camaraderie of my friends I grew up with. I longed for the simple khichdi, my mom's favorite tomato chutney, my dad's favorite luchi aloo bhaja, that is puri with an aloo sabzi, and my beloved payesh, that is a kheer preparation. And for all the audience from out of India, it's a desi pudding. But puja's time during my MBA was completely different. Breathing the chilly Bangalorean air, I sleepily rubbed my eyes and was greeted with oppressive darkness outside my window. My reason to wake up at 4 a.m. was it was time for me to go from being a passive observer to an active participant in the annual Mahalaya ritual. I switched off the buzzing alarm before I could wake my roommate. I ventured out in a hoodie with my hands buried deep in its pocket and slippers on my feet. The security guard outside our hostel was puzzled and gestured, "Where are you off to?" I reluctantly pointed towards the direction I was headed, and he sighed and opened the gates as I swiftly moved towards the TV room. Contrary to its usually lively atmosphere, the room now housed only 10 people in a corner, all focused on the TV, half droopy eyed, half asleep, wrapped in shawls. We were all there with one purpose: to carry forward our parents' time honored tradition. I plopped down next to my Bong acquaintance, who nodded at me before resuming his phone scrolling. The chants echoing in the room were familiar, but the visuals on the screen were not. It was not the videos which I had seen with my parents, but the most out of place visual was the glaring red YouTube logo in the bottom right corner. As the male baritone voice grew louder again, I chuckled, realizing that even the sacred tradition of Mahalaya wasn't immune to technology. Our cherished rituals had undergone a digital makeover. A few days later, I traveled over 25 kilometers to reach a pandal and enjoy the festival to the fullest. They only allowed members of the particular group to enter and participate in the traditional Dhuno Chinach. What is that? A dance with earthen pots which burns coconut scraps. This is a very traditional Bengali dance, and you can ask any of your Bong friends about it. My friend and I managed to sneak inside and took our positions before anybody could notice. As the dhaki, that is a drummer who has two long sticks, started playing his drum, I got lost in the rhythm. My head, my hands, and my legs started to move on their own groove. Even after 20 minutes, I did not feel tired. I did not mind the smoke coming from the burning of the earthen clays. The loud noises didn't bother me. I didn't even mind people stepping on my toes. In that crowded place, for just a single moment, I looked up to the goddess and she stared right back at me. I saw her, I bowed down in respect. I wished that she blesses me and exited from that place. I'm not a religious person, but that moment is extremely surreal. Years later, returning home to Wardha, I noticed a change in the pandals. Uncles appeared older, aunties had grayer hair, children had grown up, and the swings and slides where we used to play were rusty. The shops nearby, where we used to get our candies and chips, had disappeared altogether. And my friends, they were nowhere in the crowd. My eyes searched desperately to find some familiar place in the crowd, but none appeared. Now, connecting with those same familiar friends is just reduced to virtual interactions on Instagram. It's either liking a post or commenting on them. Mahalaya was once a celebration of togetherness, has become a reflection of inevitability of change. Its meaning has changed for me too. Earlier, it meant no homework, and now it just means getting together with my acquaintances and having food. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sauvik, for that wonderful speech. Let's give a big round of applause for all the speakers. Timer, please let us know that are there any disqualification in his prepared speeches?
Yes, Toastmaster. Gihan.
Toastmaster. Yeah,
Speaker number one
Toastmaster.
and
Okay, okay.
am I audible?
Yes, we are audible now.
Speaker number one and speaker number two is qualified.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that information. Based on that, Zoom Master, please launch the polls for the prepared speeches.
Yes, TMOD, I will be launching the Zoom poll.
Yeah,
Before
okay.
that, I would like to confirm from timer. Could you please name the qualified speaker? Speaker 1, Tanu Shekha, and speaker 2, Shilpa Reddy is qualified.
No. Third speaker and fourth speaker only qualified. Samita Kar and Saurabh Kar.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bimpy and Toastmaster Raja. Now let's move on to the second section. That is speech evaluation section. Today, our first evaluator is Toastmaster Bimpy Kumari. Toastmaster Bimpy, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Toastmaster Bimpy Kumari is evaluating Toastmaster Tanukesha's speech. Toastmaster Bimpy is a senior quality analyst at one of the pharmaceutical companies. She loves traveling, cooking, and reading in her leisure time. Toastmaster Bimpy, screen is yours.
Thank you so much, team out of the day. Speaker Toastmaster Tanushika, let me highlight you. So very congratulations for completing your second project of presentation mastery. You did really well. So I'll get start with so you have given that quote. I really liked it, and it was very motivating for us. That is, endless hustle is the part of the success. Apart from that, I liked your speech, and your speech was informational as well, related to many of us. That is how to handle the stress in your work culture, and it is engaged to audience as well, as you have used the rhetorical device at the beginning of the meeting, asking for uh, if anybody is facing stress in their work culture or work environment. I felt you were confident. You're confident while delivering your speech. Just that I would like to you can improve on your next speech. That is, you were like little nervous. It could be like the network issue you were facing. So by because you were a little nervous while delivering your speech, the pace was going little high, so it was a little difficult to get all the content whatever you were delivering as part of your speech. Though I felt it is because of your network issue you felt. Because of all this, you got little nervous. Although I liked your speech, it is informational and it is motivated to us, and it is very relative to us that in daily life or I can say it's related to us, and we often face stress in our work culture. Just you may work on you can have this network check just before joining the meeting and delivering your speech, so you can overcome this nervousness and then all of a sudden that delivering the speech. And you can overcome nervousness by practicing also. Might be it is lack of practice also, so you can give some time to practice on before delivering your speech. So overall you have met the objective. Just work on this the pace of your speech while delivering. Overall everything is good. All the best for your next speech. Yeah, over to you, Timod of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bimpy Kumari. Today's second evaluator is Toastmaster Gauri Aggarwal. She is evaluating Toastmaster Shilpa Reddy's speech. Toastmaster Gauri Aggarwal is a chartered accountant by qualification. She is currently pursuing her passion as an image consultant and a soft skill trainer. Her knowledge of tarot gives her an edge in color psychology. She uses that psychology with her clients to help them know their power colors. Gauri believes that soft skills contribute directly to the sales of an organization. Toastmaster Gauri, screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gihan. Can I also have my target speaker spotlighted, please? As well as the timer. Good evening, everyone, and a very good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Shilpa Reddy. A very pleasant presence on screen, your smile, the colors on your scarf, everything talking about you being an image consultant and adding to that charm. Stick and poke had me interested from the word go. Tattoos it was. A great start involving the audience, and it was a thoughtful question. I would imagined you to ask who all have tattoos, but instead you said who all have tattoos, who all wanted to have tattoos but did not get one. So I think that was very, very nicely capturing audience attention. I love the structure of your speech, the introduction, preview to the main points, which came in the form of the questions. The body of your speech, it was the development of the main points with a personal example. Now you elaborated on the meaning of your tattoo. Always very intriguing as an audience because we always are interested in stories of other people. Then you explaining the reason of the tattoo in the form of 1, 2, and 3. Now, when you do that, it is a speech which remains in the minds of the audience even after the speech is over. So I'm going to remember the reasons for why you are for a tattoo despite being an image consultant. Now, I found myself frowning because I was thinking, how is she going to convince us that tattoos are okay at the workplace? And being someone who's not up for tattoos and an image consultant, I want to be honest that you've got me thinking. Your line when you said the reason for the tattoo is expression. It had an emotional connect with me because it reminded me of a friend who tattooed the name of her father on her forearm. And that was her coping mechanism to deal with his loss. So you got me thinking there. In the 21st century, maybe we can turn that around. The conclusion, you reviewed the main points and you justified stating not to overdo it. So now here, you were speaking to both for and against. You were speaking to the people who were for the tattoo, and you also spoke to the people who were against the tattoo by saying that overdoing it is not a good idea. And when you said that people define professionalism, not tattoos. Bingo. Again, I was sold for the second time. Now, I think it was also informational because there was history involved in it when you spoke about what happened with the Greeks and the Romans. I have a little bit of a suggestion when it comes to your delivery. Now, there were a lot of filler words, ahs and ums. It wasn't smooth flowing, is what I felt. Never mind, coming back to the topic is when you made that switch from history to coming back to the topic of tattoos. It didn't sound like a part of the speech, and I felt like it was a filler phrase. And lack of enthusiasm. You're talking about your tattoo, and I've heard you speaking before. So vocal variety I found was a little bit missing today. But I loved your speech, nevertheless. You excelled at the structure. You may want to work on the delivery because you were talking about your conviction in tattoos and how they do not affect at the workplace. So that's where it was a little missing. And I challenge you to give yourself some time for the speech to become fluent. Why do I say challenge? Because I think time is jewel for you being a new mom. So I wish you all the best for your future speeches and congratulations on completing L1P2.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gauri. Today, third evaluator is Toastmaster Arsheen. She is evaluating Toastmaster Samitaka's speech. Toastmaster Arsheen recently joined Salesforce as a product manager. She loved to read and write poetry. Toastmaster Arsheen, over to you.
Thank you, TMOD. Samita, congratulations on penning perfection. Your speech was as close to perfection as can get. I mean, when I listened to your speech, it felt like you were ready for this moment, for this speech, for this day. The amount of screen presence you had, the pauses, the intonation, Let's talk about it in a structured way. There were things that I loved about your speech, and there were things that I can suggest as improvements. Let's talk about the perfection side of things. I'll divide it into 3 parts: delivery, process, and closing the loop. Talking about your delivery, it was a story. How better can it get? It was dramatic. It had voice intonations. You were looking at us. You were directly piercing into our soul. You were having intonations. You started with a rhetorical question, which made everyone stop and think about, have they thought about this specific topic of handwriting? And do they even stop and think about anything in this social media, fast-paced, fast-moving world? So it had all the elements of a perfect story. It nailed that part. You also had an opening, body, closing. Let's talk about the second thing, which is the process. You described a domino effect. You said, I'll get better if I teach someone, my students will get better if they teach someone, then the feedback flows and the loop closes. It was an honest process. It had a perfect rhythm to it, and I was able to understand how you charted that journey. The third thing, you closed the loop. You came back to the understandings, the conclusion, and you said that I learned point A, point B, point C from what I did in my process. So delivery, process, closing the loop. Great things. I was hooked. I wanted to know what is going to happen next in the story. Now let's talk about the things that I thought could have been done a little better, or things that can be improved. Inherently, the topic of handwriting and the topic of improving your handwriting is not really the most interesting topic that people would want to listen to. I could understand that your motivation A was that, your teacher, your school, your environment, and this fast-paced moving world, and you wanting to work on your handwriting. What was your bigger motivation? What were you getting at? Why did you really want to improve your handwriting? That is my point A. Point B, give me more data points. How much time did it take for you? How much time did it take for you to turn around and come back and improve something that you identified was a lack? And yeah, the bigger theme of the fact that why was it so important for Samita to improve her handwriting? Because I could understand the catharsis part of it, but I could not understand why is it that I should listen to this? How will it help me? How will it help me achieve my catharsis? So all in all, I was hooked to the story. It felt like a performance because I've been a Kathak performer all my life. And I could see that a performance is at play. It was beautiful. It was perfect. If you work on the things that I've suggested, a little more data points, a little more things to lean back on, and your bigger motivation, you'll nail your next speech. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arsheen. Our next evaluator is Toastmaster Manoj Nair. He is evaluating Toastmaster Sauvik K's speech. Toastmaster Manoj is an IT consultant by profession, been with Toastmasters for last couple of years back. During free time, likes to watch Malayalam movies, loves his walk in the woods and play table tennis. Toastmaster Manoj Nair, over to you.
Fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Gihan, and my target speaker, Toastmaster Sauvik. What a fabulous power-packed speech you did, Sauvik. Hats off to you. Pat on the back yourself. That's absolutely power-packed one because it has a lot of energy, a lot of passion, and the kind of, the interest you have in your speech, especially something like Durga Puja. And we can all relate to it because when I was a child, my dad used to take me on his shoulder and show me those kind of the pujas and all those things. I can easily connect with you on that one. For that, absolutely fantastic. So mesmerizing. What I really like about your speech and really struck chord with me was the language you use. Absolutely blown away. I mean, the way language is so rich, so powerful, so enriching languages you use, the flowery language. I have a full note of papers actually filled up of your languages. Maybe a few of them like cuddles, seas, and you mentioned about the digital makeover, and you mentioned about comrade. I mean, it's a huge amount of, I don't want to run out those words, but those were the powerful way of expressing your thoughts, your emotions, and all those things. I really like the way you did that. The first thing what I like about it, the moment when you come on the center stage on the digital camera of 16 by 16 tucked into this video, you ask the question straight away. You just encapsulate the audience straight away and asking the specific questions. And you can see some more raise of hands, myself and few of those digital people who have raised their hands on this one. That is the best way to connect the audience straight away and captivate them straight away with that one. Now, it seems to me you are a very professional and seasoned speaker. I don't want to be getting into, but I will be more cynical about giving you some of the feedbacks. The languages you used, absolutely. I mentioned about the writing voices was very good. In speech writing, there are two things which we need to, I personally look into it. One is the speaking voice and one is the writing voice. Speaking voice, writing voice is all about the languages used about it, how you express, the choice of word, the pace, the pause, all those were fit into it, your speech. But the speaking things, which is the audible expression of your words, I didn't see that kind of emotion and thoughts were there. You mentioned about those the Bongolese dishes and all those things, but the kind of emotions were missed out because of the language was so good. One thing which I've noted, I'm not very sure about it, but are you reading out the speech or you are coming out with this word automatically? So with this to you, was it completely reading out?
No, I had written this.
Maybe that's the reason actually, because it's speaking
I wasn't reading
voice.
it, so I remember parts of it.
Yeah. So I think because of the language was structured, because short sentences were there, I believe that speaking voice was missing about it. I didn't see any kind of vulnerability, that so polished, so pitch perfect. Perhaps maybe because the audience, if you wanted to connect with them, you have to show some kind of vulnerability there. But other than that, you have a very balanced hand gestures, the smile, the eye contacts were scanning through those windows. Actually, I can see that one. So with that, I would say that was a great speech, great language, great story about it, the emotions, power, and energy in this one speech. With that, I'll hand back to Toastmaster Gihan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manoj. Let's give a big round of applause for all the evaluators. Timer, please let us know that are there any disqualification in evaluation speeches? Timer, Toastmaster Raja, please let us know, are there any disqualification in
Toastmaster of the day, we have only one disqualification. Toastmaster Gauri Aggarwal took 3 minutes 48 seconds.
Thank you very much for that information, Toastmaster Raja. Based on this, Master, please launch the polls for speech evaluations. Then let's take a 5-minute break before the education session. Now the time is 3 past 8. So let's join back 8 past 8. Toastmasters and guests, welcome back to the meeting. Now let's move on to the education session. Today, our education speech will be done by Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel. Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy Goel is working as Senior Data Analyst. She is a certified image consultant and personal branding coach. She is the president of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. Timer, please note that the duration of this speech will be 30 minutes. Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy. Measuring performance the Gabbys way. Measuring performance the Gabbys way. Distinguished Toastmaster Nancy.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Gihan. Timer, we can have this session for 40 minutes, 30 minutes for the session with green card at 20 minutes, yellow at 25 and red at 30, and 10 minutes for question and answer. Post red card, okay? All right, I see a lot of black screens. Do we have people behind those black screens? Are you back from the break, or you're just trying to hide and enjoy your dinner? Couple of you turned on your camera. Thank you so much for showing your faces. Now I know I'm not just speaking to black screens. measuring performance the Gabbys way. When I think of this title that was shared in the promos, I feel that this is a little too heavy. Performance and that too we are measuring. Well, it's not about that particularly. I want to cover the basics of what was the thought process, how we approach data, how we approach a problem, or how we can. It's not just the performance, but what other things we can derive from all of it. So before I get started with this, I want to understand, is there any expectation from this session? I know a couple of you have been reaching out to know how we have derived certain dashboards, but I would want to understand what kind of expectations do you have from the session? Quickly. You can unmute yourself and speak.
Hi Nancy, Shakir here from Language Research Toastmasters Club. Thank you so much for the invitation for today's session. I'm being the president of the club, looking forward for the metrics and tables that you are using it, so that we can also have a handy tracker for us, for our club members to measure their performance throughout the term. So,
okay,
thank you so
understood. So you want to understand the secret behind those dashboards so that we can implement the same for the club as well. All right. Any other expectations from anyone else?
Whatever we do, until unless if we are bringing it on the board or the report, it will make meaningful and it will reach many people. So many times I wondered how Gabbys are doing, and sometimes I feel jealous also. These Gabbys has super club officers. They are putting a lot of time to prepare all this. Sometimes we feel struggle to how many speeches completed by our members by club officers. It will be very difficult, but they have how many people have attended how many meetings, what are the roles they have taken each meeting. It's really, I felt many times, wow. And today you are going to share this with among club officers and club members to others. Thank you so much for arranging this session. And I'm looking forward to learn many things from this session. And I'm going to implement in our club as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajesh. I was looking for expectations, but it started with confessions. It's good to know such a confession from you. Thank you for being so honest. All right, let me quickly share my screen in case you have anything else. I'll open the chat for everyone in case you have questions along the way, or okay, it's open already, or any expectations. We'll try to cover those on the go. How many of you have gone to the Gabbys website? This one. Okay, couple of you raising your hands. Let me take you to a page here that we have worked upon, the Gabbys performance dashboard. How many of you have gone through this particular page? Few of you? Okay, not all. All right, so for those of you who haven't gone through this page, I would say that this is the link. I'll request Toastmaster Bimpy to share this link with everyone in the chat box. This is what we are going to majorly talk about. This page contains 3 different dashboards. The one is educational awards details, where you can play with the data and see which all paths people have selected, or let's say, if you want to pick up all paths, and you will get all the details of who's at which level. If you want to check it by the date, it's so dynamic that we have captured data for almost a year now. You can see who has filed levels in the last 10 days, 15 days, 20 days. And then this one is for the meeting attendance. So all those who are present here in today's meeting, your count will be captured here. A number of members joining our meeting by the date, and then people who are guests joining by the date. Who all are joining by the name, that is also being captured, but not here. I'll show where we are capturing this, and couple of other details here. Date-wise distribution, which are the members who are delivering a speech on a particular date. For example, on 16th of May, 3 people have delivered their speeches. In case you're delivering speeches outside the club as well, this will be shown up here as your date-wise distribution. How many people are delivering how many speeches as per the date. So this is one visual that you can go through. Second is your meeting participation. This is where you can see Samita on screen as well as Samita's details on screen, both. So I've just picked up Samita Kar as a member from the list of members we have here and meeting date. You can see how many meetings have happened in this particular time frame from 15th of April to 8th of June. Number of meetings happened 23. Samita, not to put you on spot, it's just, it was there already. Number of meetings attended 9. Number of speaker roles she has picked up is 6. Evaluator role or any other roles, none. Let's say, I want to check Nancy. This is for members only. We are not tracking guest data for this one. So for me, I have picked up 20 out of 23 meetings. I've attended 20, 2 speaker roles, 5 evaluator roles. None of the big 3 roles, 1 taggle role, and which one? It is showing me more than 1 here. I need to fix this one. Good point. But primarily, it is showing our counter. This is the one I've picked up in the last couple of days, in the last 1.5 months. By the meeting date, how many roles and whatever else I've picked, roles as well as TT speaker, if I've picked up any in the last 1.5 months, I haven't attempted any table topic. So this is what it shows to me. Along with that, this is just attendee where I'm just attending as an attendee, but not as a role taker. So this data is captured here. And how much time am I spending in the meeting for the day? It's showing up here. So this is for all the members of the Gabbys. And lastly, in case someone wants to book a meeting role, this is what we capture here. As of now, for June 11, okay, for June 13th, it's yet to be updated. But for June 15th, it's already there. For June 18th, this role is filled. All the blue ones are filled and orange ones are yet to be filled. This might have got filled because our VP Education keeps on filling up roles. But in case you see any of the roles open, you can connect with our VP Education and look for roles. Now, this, like I said, it's very overwhelming to see all of this if you don't know what's happening here. But how are we reaching this stage? How are we approaching any kind of data problem? I'll talk about how we reach there, but let's talk in a generic way. Why did we reach here? Why did we do this? And what was the need for it? First of all, what is data? Anyone, what is data? Have you heard of this word data? What do you mean by data? No responses? No one has ever heard of this word?
In a small place, you can all the informations.
All kind of information, a small piece of information. Yes, Joanne, you were saying something?
Yeah, any kind of information.
Any kind of information. Okay. What else?
Like you have shown the dashboard. That means whoever has attended, numbers, facts, figures, those will come in and that will be the data.
Numbers, facts, figures. If you quickly Google this, and Google will also tell you numbers, facts, figures is what data is. Any other answers, Suchita?
So it's basically data analytics. So you do the analytics on the data. Basically, you are finding the problems, finding the solution out of this. To get the data, to find out the solution, it's basically we capture that data on that purpose.
Okay, you're talking about data analytics where we use data to derive some insights. That's a little advanced. Let's take a step back and understand what is data. Joanne, you want to add on to this? I see
think
you on.
in this scenario, it is measurable information. Any kind of measurable information, maybe.
Measurable information. All right. So if you hear it from a data analyst, what is data? For me, Data is any piece, any element through which I can derive information. Data is not information. Data is just a dump. But if I can derive something out of it, if as an analyst I can get some information out of it, out of that, then it is data for me. Okay. Let's take an example of your Google Photos. How many of you have stored your photos on Google Photos? Rajesh, Souvik, Joanne, Manvi, Shakir, Nopur. Most of us are aware of Google Photos, right? So even if you don't have Google Photos, maybe you are storing it in Apple storage or somewhere. This storage, is it a fact, a figure, the Google Photos that we have? No, it's not. It's neither a fact nor a figure. It's just a photo. But nowadays, we can derive a lot of information from photos as well, or videos, or whatever we have just shared in this meeting. Like we heard about handwriting, right? So Samita was talking about handwriting. We also got to know that during Durga Puja, there are many pandals and many more other things like tattoos and other things that we learned today. So all these things put together, whether it's video or audio or photos or figures or facts, this is all data for me. Because at the end of the day, I'll derive some information out of it. What do I derive? How do I want to derive? I'll definitely need to think about it, but I can definitely derive some information out of this. Now, whenever we are approaching any kind of data problem, there are two ways to look at it. One, we have got a lot of data, like a lot of Google Photos are there, or a lot of Gabbys meeting recordings are there. What do we do with it? That is one way to look at it. Second is, I have a problem at hand. For example, how many people are filing their awards? If people at Gabbys are going outside in external clubs and filing their completing their speeches and then coming back and filing their awards, how it is important for me, or how do I ensure that I know where they are going, and how do I know that these many people have filed their awards? So that is a problem for which I probably don't have a data. Okay, one, you have data, but you don't know what kind of information you can get out of it. Second is, you have a problem, but you don't know what kind of data would be required for you to capture that kind of problem, to capture information for that kind of problem, so that you find a solution out of it. So when we are looking at it, let's first take the first example where we have the data, but no information. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, so that's where the things get real. Now, if I go to Zoom, anyone who has been a Zoom master, who has approached this screen would know that we come here for the Gabbys meeting, the one that you are part of. This is the meeting, right? These are a couple of headers that we have that we look into whenever we are organizing meetings. But there is one more section here as admin. If I go to account management and go to reports, so these are the reports that I have, and these are the reports that I have. This is a lot of data. Let me show you one, attendee log. So this is the one that we have from yesterday's meeting. This is showing for yesterday's meeting, and now this is the one for today's meeting. All those of you who have joined today's meeting, like Robert, Gauri, Shilpa, Tanushika, we have got rows and rows of information here. If that these people have joined, that's my information, right? So this is a dump for me, and I can look at it and probably leave it here. But if I want to derive some information. What all information can I derive? First, who all are part of today's meeting? It's pretty evident who all are part of today's meeting. Then start time. The moment we end the meeting, it will show end time as well, which means I can also calculate how many minutes you have spent within this meeting. All right. Then if I want to see how many of you have tried a conversation through chat or used phone VoIP, video recording or whatnot. Generally, these are not allowed, so we don't use. Mostly, we connect through VoIP, voice over information protocol. Using this, we log in. So that is yes, but I'll ignore this because this is not required to me at all. I'll just keep leave time, join time as my important information. Join status, people who are in meeting, in waiting room. Mostly, I'll just pick in meeting people and which meeting they have joined. If you are giving it a different topic, it will pick up. For example, this meeting topic is the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. However, other meeting topics we have are division events or educational sessions. So you will get to know people are joining for which meeting for that particular time frame. So this is the points that I want to derive and I want to use. Now this is raw data. I'll just simply export it. You see, this is all exported data and I'll download this one. I'll show you the previous one. This is downloaded. I'm sorry. I can see everything for the previous meeting here. This is Zoom data. I had the data, but I was not making use of it at all. Now, there are certain things that I want to derive, but certain things are definitely not here. This data, joining time, leaving time, is what giving me screen time per meeting. Okay. It is also giving me attendance for the meeting. If there are 23 meetings, I have attended 20 meetings. But everything else I don't have. And when I reached out to my club XCOM, they said, we also want to track how many speaker roles somebody has attempted, how many evaluator roles, how many, what other roles they are picking up day in, day out. So I want all that information. That's where I needed to go manually. And I asked, I requested our Sergeant at Arms to help me with that information. This is the part that we do manually and store everything here. Now, from username onwards, everything you have seen there on Zoom. But the first 3 columns, whether someone is joining as a member or a guest, whether you have picked up a meeting role or not, what is the join mode? Are you joining us online or offline? I'm storing this information, but this is not being used anywhere. However, if I need to check how many of you have joined us for our offline meetings, I can always check it within 5 minutes. So these 3 columns is what we are storing as manual information corresponding to what we generally store from Zoom. So this is giving me this entire dashboard. This is how the data comes from for this one particular dashboard. Now, second one is meeting calendar. Meeting calendar has been taken care by our VP Education. She, Toastmaster Sudharma Pereira. She is the one who is giving me all the information. So this is where you will see all the meeting records, who all have picked up a role and which role they have picked up for the upcoming meeting. She is storing information here and I'm just getting this information to a different source and finally displaying it on website. That's another sheet. what we are doing separately here is instead of storing it in a table and making it all manual, we are ensuring that we are storing it row by row so that on 28th for the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club, essay role has been taken by Bimpy Kumari and she is a member. If it's a guest, Leon De Silva has picked up this role. So this is how we are storing information for meeting calendar. Now, lastly, how many people are completing their speeches outside the Gabbys or within the Gabbys is where we have floated this form for everyone, asking them to fill up information. This is where they just fill up their information, and we are capturing this only for the 3 clubs that we have, not for the guests. So this is where we get to know people who are filing their awards at the base camp or Club Central. Before approving their awards, we check for their information here, whether they have filled up the forms and whether the form data is actually synonymous to Toastmasters data. This will give us much more information in terms of not just what we see at the Toastmasters dashboards, where we just get to know, okay, level 2 finished. Here we get to know level 2, speech 1 finished at so or so club, speech 2 finished here or there, speech 3 has been finished at so or so place, and who was the evaluator, what were the evaluation points. So in case any of the members of the Gabbys, they want to come back and see a pattern in their evaluation points, they can always check it by requesting it from the XCOM. So that information is also there. So all those things are being captured, and this is again, this form is linked to speech completion form here. You see, we have got almost 700 rows of data captured. This has been filled by members themselves. Close to 779. This is from where we get the information. Certain areas we had the information already, but we were not making use of it. While where we needed information to solve some of the problems, to find solution to some of the challenges, we started asking people to fill up these details. That's how the details are being captured. Now, everything here looks a little overwhelming in terms of number of rows. When we started, it was hardly 15 rows, 20 rows. Then it kept on adding on to more and more and more rows. Since it's been 1 year, we have been picking up these rows. We have got all this data captured. That's where, when it comes to human eyes, we can know that somebody who was there for the last 1 month, probably it was Nancy, and Nancy was hardly taking up any TMOD role. But here I can show and let you know that yes, I have picked up a TMOD role or I haven't picked up a TMOD role. This is where the what doesn't meet the human eye, we get that information here. As I was talking about Google Photos, from Google Photos, we can always know that 2 years back, probably we broke up with somebody. When we see all those memories popping up in your memories by Google, or probably 2 years back, we were really happy. When we are seeing those memories or recommendations, those are again data driven because of your photos, and you are feeding those photos as data to Google. That is how you get information from any kind of data. That's about data. I'll come to the part how we derived, what's the base of this, the source of this I've shared, but how we reached here, I'll walk you through that as well. But before that, do we have any questions?
Can you, Nancy, break down the process of how you decide what info? I mean, you have the data, right? But you don't know what information you can derive from it. So there must be some scientific process that you're using to make these columns, make the analysis. Can you like give us some insight on how you do that? I know you're like a data scientist, and but for people like us who have no background in data, and we want to collect information where we don't even know what information can be derived, what do you suggest for people like us?
Joanne, that's a wonderful question. Let me take an example of budgeting at homes. Whenever we look at our salary, okay, this month I've got probably 50,000 as my salary. I'm just taking a ballpark figure. Out of that 50,000, I am spending 30,000 on a house rent, 10,000 on groceries, 5,000 on some sort of installment, and rest of the 5,000 is probably going into my education. And when I am approaching towards the mid of the month, I'm just getting to know that I'm left with nothing in my account. Is that a problem?
Yes, definitely.
That's a problem. Now you have figured this out that you have got problem like this, and the solution to this, you can either say, okay, I'll start saving more, or you can say that probably I will start earning more, or I look for a different job. But before you reach to a better solution, a data scientist would rather look at what all numbers are there. For example, salary is giving me a number, 50,000. My other expenses, whatever expenses are there, giving me a number, which is 5,000, 5,000, and 10,000. And house rent is giving me a number, 30,000. Now, to save more, probably if I want to go for saving mode, I need to see where am I spending, right? So, and what are my future plans? Probably I want to go for a better education, which is not enough in 5,000. I want to pay for 2 Toastmasters club and I want 10,000. So where do I cut down? Again, where do you cut down? How would you see? Again, you will go back to numbers. So numbers and this data thing is not new to all of us. This is what we have been doing. The only thing is we as companies, we have started looking at it more seriously as we are generating more data through social media accounts, Google website, and there is a footprint to it. It's just the same basic thing is now coming up in charts and figures in front of us. It's just getting stored. Earlier we didn't have any way to store that information. I still remember my maternal uncle, long time back, he used to capture this expense sheet as well as this uh, profit from his business, the income from his business, in a bahi khata. It was actually a handwritten notebook where he was capturing everything by his hands, making note of everything that was coming his way as income and expense. If I put it all together in an Excel sheet, it becomes a little automated for me because Excel sheet is providing me much more liberty to go for charts and figures. Now, I'm talking about Excel. Excel is just one tool. You have got many more tools. You have got Tableau, you have got ClickSense, you have got Looker Studio, you have got Microsoft PowerPoint, and sometimes people actually tend to derive some information using PowerPoint, putting up charts there manually as well. The idea is not where the idea of information is coming from. It has always been there. It just whatever new tools we have in the market, we are making use of those tools, and whatever data we have in the market, we are now making use of that data more and more. That's the only thing that has changed. All right. I also see one question in the chat box that is by Toastmaster Rhonda. Is this information being captured in an automated form, or does someone have to manually input the information? If automated, how is this being done? Toastmaster Rhonda, I've covered this part after you have asked this question. So I hope this is answered. In case you have any further question regarding the same, I'll cover this. He must have been a delight for a CAs. Yes, he is a delight for CAs because, or rather, he's not a delight for CAs, Gauri, because he believes in capturing his own accounts rather than hiring a CA. So probably CAs won't be happy for him. Unlike my dad, who actually hired a CA to go for his accounts rather than capturing all the information on his own. And that's a pain for CAs at times because then it becomes difficult for them to get all the information from my dad for the invoices and other things. However, this is there, the data is there, and we need to understand where it is coming from. Now, like I said, data is a source, and these are the sources that we have at the Gabbys. What else can we do with it? I'll quickly walk you through a tool that we are using. So when I was looking for a couple of tools for the Gabbys, for these dashboards, I was looking for something which can be made public. And when I say public, I look for many tools, whether it's Excel, whether it's ClickSense, PowerPoint, and something which is free of cost. So Tableau, as per my research, was the only tool that Tableau is also paid, but Tableau Public is the one we can use for experimentation purpose. So they have provided this free of cost. Tableau is where I started storing my initial data. And you will see more dashboards here that are not shown on the website, but this is my profile and this is all public. So Tableau, that's how I arrived at Tableau for the tool. But you all, if you're not comfortable with Tableau, it's easy plug and play tool. But if you're not comfortable with Tableau, you can choose any of the tools that your organization provides, or Excel sheets. Excel is pretty versatile with the graphs and figures. The idea is the moment you start capturing data, you will start realizing that there's a lot of information, and you'll figure out something that works for your organization, for your club, or for your own personal interest, whether you want to showcase it in a line chart, basically on Excel or Google Sheets. Google Sheet is again free of cost, or you want to display this information in a different format. So that is how I arrived at Tableau. I'll quickly show you a little bit about Tableau as well. Okay, so this is Tableau. This is the one I have installed. Again, free of cost. This is how it opens up. You will see a lot of things that you can do here. You just pick up a new workbook, log into Tableau Public. The only catch here for people who want to try it on their own, it's asking for a company account, a company email ID, not just a regular one. So that's what you need to ensure. You can have a friend's domain or something to use this. It's not open for random Gmail IDs. It's only open for a company email ID. Now, these are the dashboards that I've worked upon. This is the one that you see there on the sheet. All nowadays, since I plug in the data, I've plugged in the data, I've cleaned the data with the help of my XCOM team. I'll just go here and I'll refresh the data. That's all I have to do after the dashboard is ready. But when you are doing the dashboard, when you are preparing the dashboard, all the data that I had, I just, okay, I'll go to data source. From the data source, you can quickly plug in a source, as in an Excel sheet or anything which is on Google Sheets. I have kept Google Sheets only for the reason, and it can be shared with everyone else. Okay, so when I go to data source, it takes me here because my data has been picked up from Gabby's Google Drive. It's authenticated. I'll come back here. It will show me my data source, which is speech completion details. I just walked you through a couple of minutes back. Now, this is where you can just have a glimpse of your data. It's exactly the same that I have on the Google Sheet. So that is how I'm capturing data. Now I'll just go to a random sheet, an empty one. Suppose I want to see club name. So these are the 3 clubs that we have captured data from. And I want to see how many people are there in each club. I'll rather pick member name. Now it is giving me member names, but I want to see a count. This is giving me a count. 84 members there, 53 and 95. But this count is not correct because it is capturing count multiple times, but I want distinct count. 25, 13 and 17. So this you see here, 25, 13 and 17. These are the number of people who have filled up the form for respective Gabbys accounts, Gabbys clubs in that particular sheet. So this is very easy, simple plug and play tool that you can use. This is not a training on Tableau. This is more about understanding how we approach a data problem and how we at Gabbys reached here. Now, once you have already got the worksheets ready, you can make it public by simply clicking on a go to public link and followed by just pick up that link and put it on our website. It's just that simple. All right, that's about the Gabbys performance dashboards, and it was the Gabbys way, how we are doing it at Gabbys. Just remember, data is what they say is the new oil. And we always say data will speak your language the moment you start beating it. So that's what we are asking data to speak our language after beating it for 1 year. That's how we tackle data and performance dashboards. Any questions from anyone? I know we are a little bit over time, but if there are any questions, probably 1 or 2 I can take.
Yeah, hi Toastmaster Nancy, this is Shravan here. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
I just wanted to take this to a next level. How about categorizing the speeches? Is it possible to export any data from Yodlee and then categorize the speeches? This speaker is of this style, this speaker is of this style, that kind of information, is it possible to bring up?
So Yodlee is a paid platform. Just because we have got subscription of Yodlee through Toastmasters, we can log into Yodlee, but I'm not sure if there's a way to download data from Yodlee. For any paid platforms, we cannot directly plug those paid platforms to Tableau. However, if you have the data which is not paid, which is your data, or if you want to categorize the speakers based on their levels, this is perfectly doable. We do sentiment analysis, we do many other things on the basis of videos, speech to text or text to speech or audio challenges. However, it all depends upon what kind of resources you have. What I've told you, it's like bang for the buck, where you don't have to pay anything. It's just you are getting almost everything done with the people that you have with you. However, most of the companies that that work on these kind of data challenges and whatever you have mentioned for now, this is all doable, provided you have paid subscription and you are putting that data into a different server from where you can fetch it directly and then refresh the data from there itself. Excel sheet is one way to access data. However, you have many other cloud platforms and many other databases from where you can fetch data from. So this is doable, but within the scope of our club funds, this is not.
Okay. I had gone through one app. That app is categorizes the singers. suppose if you sing something, it will analyze and it will give a data. Your level of singing is this, your style of singing is this, like that. It will analyze and it will give a report. Similarly, if a speech also, if it is possible to analyze using any artificial intelligence tools, then maybe it will help the speakers to improvise more, I believe. Because you are in the same profession, I'm just sharing my thoughts.
No, this is absolutely doable. What you are saying, like I said, I've implemented those solutions for the organizations I've worked with in the past. And I'm not saying this is not possible, because this is doable and we have done that. The only challenge here is the resources. Whether we have ample money to purchase those resources or not, that is the challenge.
But you are in communication business. Your mainstream business is this, so why not charge for that and then
I'm
provide
working as a
services?
senior data analyst.
Oh, it's not your mainstream business or communication development.
No.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shravan. In the interest of time, I'll pass on the baton back to our Toastmaster of the day. For any further questions, please feel free to reach out over DM. That's my time. Thank you, everyone, for being a lovely audience. Over to you, Toastmaster Gihan.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Nancy, for sharing the information about how to analyze the data regarding club members. Detailed explanation about the Gabbys website and how it's running behind the stage. Thank you very much for that shared information. I received the results for today's poll for the favorable speaker and evaluator. Before revealing the results, are there any guesses? Sorry, I was not in the camera. Are there any guesses for today's result? Who is the favorable speaker?
Toastmaster Samita.
Let's see.
It's mother and son, whosoever is the favorite speaker, it will go to the same home.
Yes. Okay, the result is today the favorable speaker is Toastmaster Sauvik. Congratulations. Then any guess for favorable evaluator?
Manoj.
Let's see the result. Today the favorable evaluator is Toastmaster Arsheen. Congratulations. Then with that, I'm going to take some feedback from few guests or visiting Toastmaster. Anything, any volunteer?
Hi, myself Suchita, and I have joined as a guest today. So it's wonderful time. Actually, I've learned a lot from this group within 2 hours. So first, I really like Nancy's data thing because it really driven me. I thought I will logged out because it's a really long time, but I couldn't because I really like that the way she has presented her educational speech, and I really like that, and also that all the participants today, what they have talked about, it's a good understanding, and how they are trying to give and deliver the best speech. It makes me motivated.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Suchitra. We love to see you in coming meetings as well. Thank you for your feedback.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Then Toastmaster Saurabh, are you a guest of visiting Toastmaster? Toastmaster Saurabh. Then Toastmaster Konda, Toastmaster Konda, sorry, Toastmaster Ronda. Would you like to share some feedback? Toastmaster Jatin.
You can see one guest, Dinesh B.
Yeah, Toastmaster Dinesh B. Our guest, yes.
Hi, good evening. Yeah, I keep coming in as a guest to Gabby meetings, but I really enjoy the sessions here. And I was actually sharing with Nancy on a private chat to say I have come back after a long time, and the quality of speakers that I've seen, and especially the quality of evaluators, are so top notch. So it just shows how much Gabby has been grooming its people and how it's been done. So it's very insightful. The content has been wonderful. The styles have been wonderful. So I've really enjoyed. I too came in here just for a short while of time and actually been attending 3 different meetings at the same time, listening to this, trying to go somewhere else and get things done as well. So kudos to you guys. I think it was wonderful. I think the educational session was excellent. Unfortunately, I missed 25 minutes of it, but hoping that we can get some recording to have a look at it, and looking forward to at some point joining this club, but at least visiting you guys more often. But kudos to every one of you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. It means a lot for us, and hope to see you with coming meetings as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jatin also unmuted to say something. Jatin, are you a guest
Yeah,
or a visiting Toastmaster?
so I'm a guest Toastmaster to say so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm part of a different district, but I had taken up a role a few weeks back at Gabbys, and that time I got to know of this performance dashboard. I've been a fan of it since then. So today, when I got to know there's a session on this, I was like, why not? Sure, and that it was worth my time. Thank you so much for having this. I definitely like the idea. I just had a quick question. Maybe we could take it offline as well. Maybe I can connect with you offline about how much do you need to expose, make it public, and how do you utilize it? Because there's one way of having those metrics, having that capturing information, but then how do you utilize it back into your club's activities so that it's more useful? That's something that I would definitely like to discuss with you, maybe offline then. Thank you so much.
Sure, we'll take this offline.
Yes, thank you very much, Toastmaster Jatin. Hope you also will join for coming meetings, and you will gain more when you join with us. Thank you very much. Then with that, let's adjourn the meeting for today. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Good night,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.